So using John's model of reflection provides a guide for the reflective practitioner in terms of analysis, both for perhaps a critical incident, a key incident, but also their practice in general. And this particular model is very good in terms of supporting the reflective practitioner in terms of decision making as well as analysis of incidents in the classroom. And what we need to remember in terms of this particular model is that it benefits from the reflective practitioner engaging with a significant other in terms of the reflection process, perhaps a supervisor or a mentor or some other to enhance the learning experience. And what John calls this is having somebody to help with guided reflection, and this is because the reflection through the staged model can become quite mechanistic unless there is somebody else there to provide guidance in terms of the reflection. And by sharing through, by learning through reflection and sharing reflections, what the stage model provides us with as reflective practitioner is a greater understanding of our experiences and our responses to those experiences. And this is in contrast to what can be achieved if reflection is a solitary, a lonely activity. And what Johns does is we can use additional frameworks. For example, Carper's 4 patterns of knowing in relation to each stage in the model. The first pattern of knowing would be in relation to aesthetics, or in other words, how the reflective practitioner considers themselves in their role, and what is good and what is bad, what can be better, making choices and trying to find clarity around all those aspects of quality. And then another pattern of knowing is a very personal pattern of knowing, or in other words, in each stage of the model, what is our internal process? How are we considering the knowledge that we're acquiring? How we're considering the information? And what is our personal response to it? There's also an ethical pattern of knowing. In other words, those frameworks, those guidelines that we use, which tell us what we should be doing, what we ideally should be doing, and how we as reflective practitioners are considering ourselves in relation to those particular standards. And then another pattern of knowing is about the experience, an empirical knowing. We know what works and what doesn't work. We know what's right and wrong from what we've done in the past. It's acquired knowledge, it's learned knowledge. And we can add a 5th pattern of knowing here in terms of reflexivity, or in other words, the process of iteration and consideration, of looking again at our experiences and learning from that process in itself. And by doing this, this becomes a great strength of the Johns model, simply because what we're doing is adding an epistemological foundation to our reflections. What we mean by this is that we're developing ways of knowing what we know around our practice. And this is a strength because it helps us develop our awareness about our practices, an awareness about our preferences in relation to our work. And if we use this model for any particular situation which is ongoing, or indeed for practice in general, we can add the reflective component. And what we can do is use other models to help us with this reflexivity component, or indeed we can develop our own cue questions to help with that reflection, with that reflexivity. How do we respond in relation to each stage of the model?